Noah stood on the rooftop of the crumbling building, the wind whipping through his hair as the sun dipped below the horizon. The city that once symbolized his dreams now seemed like a cage of broken promises. Just a few months ago, he had been on the cusp of launching his tech startup, fueled by passion and endless nights of code. But now, after losing funding, being betrayed by a partner, and watching everything fall apart, Noah felt hollow. He wasn't thinking of jumping, at least not exactly. He just wanted to understand how it all had gone so wrong. Life, he thought, had tricked him. It had dangled the illusion of success before him, only to snatch it away when he reached for it. Was this all there was to it? Trying, failing, and pretending you were fine. He climbed down from the rooftop, defeated but still breathing. That night, lying on the floor of his one-room apartment, with his laptop closed and his phone silent, Noah cried for the first time in years. The next morning, something strange happened. As sunlight seeped through the window, Noah remembered a story his grandfather once told him as a child, of a man who lost everything in a war and yet rebuilt his life from nothing. Starting with just a single spoon he carved into art. A man isn't measured by what he has, his grandfather had said, but by how many times he can start again. Noah hadn't thought about that in years. The memory stung, but it also warmed something deep inside him. That day he went for a long walk. The air smelled of wet earth and traffic, the chaotic rhythm of life continuing, indifferent to his suffering. But in the noise he began to hear something else. Possibility. Every corner of the city was filled with people surviving, dreaming, building. If they could, maybe he could too. Noah decided not to go back to the failed startup. It was too scorched with betrayal and bad decisions. Instead, he started fresh but not in tech. He took a job at a local cafe, serving coffee and cleaning tables. It wasn't glamorous, and many people he once knew walked past him without recognition. But for the first time in a long while, he felt present. Every day was a simple challenge: smile, serve, survive. And in the evening, he started writing. At first it was just journaling, but soon the words took form. He wrote about failure, dreams, and the quiet heroism of getting back up. He posted some pieces online anonymously. The first few got no attention, but slowly people began to respond. One woman messaged him, "I was going to give up on my business until I read your story. Thank you." A single message lit a fire in Noah's heart. A year passed. Noah still worked at the cafe, but he had gathered a small online following. He launched a blog called The Mountain Within, dedicated to stories of resilience and growth. He shared his own failures, the lessons from strangers he met, and the victories that came not from winning, but from refusing to quit. His authenticity struck a chord. Within months, his blog went viral. He was invited to speak at a local event for entrepreneurs. Nervous but ready, Noah stood on stage and told his story, not with polish, but with truth. When he finished, there was silence. And then, a standing ovation. After the event, a publisher approached him. "Have you ever thought of writing a book?" He laughed. "Every day. I just never thought anyone would read it." Noah's book, also titled The Mountain Within, became a surprise bestseller. It wasn't filled with secrets to success, but with honest stories of failure, heartbreak, and endurance. He toured cities, spoke in schools, and sat on panels where people twice his age asked him for advice. The fame didn't change him. He still visited the cafe where he once worked, often leaving large tips for the staff. He started a foundation to support young dreamers from underprivileged backgrounds, offering mentorship and funding for small ventures. One day, a 17-year-old girl named Anya wrote to him, "I read your book. I lost my mom last year, and I wanted to end my life, but your words made me think, maybe I can survive too. I've decided to start painting again." Noah sat with the letter for a long time, tears in his eyes. That he thought was success. Years passed. Noah was now considered a thought leader, but he never forgot his darkest days. When asked in interviews what changed his life, he always said the same thing. It wasn't success, it was learning that failure was in the end. That was the real beginning. He thought that life was not a ladder to be climbed, but a mountain range to be explored, full of peaks and valleys, storms and sunlight, and that inside each person was a mountain waiting to rise, no matter how broken they felt. If you're watching this, maybe you're standing at your own edge. Maybe something you worked for has crumbled. Maybe the weight of life feels unbearable. But remember this: life isn't about never failing, it's about learning to rise. Again and again and again. It's about seeing yourself not as a failure, but as a story in progress. Every scar, every tear, every sleepless night adds depth to your journey. There's a mountain within you. Climb it.